adequate food of adequate food acceptable quality, clean and safe water in adequate quantities, social security and education, among others. Appreciating that county executive has put up ECD centers throughout the county and continuously putting up new ECD centers to promote early childhood education. Further, appreciating that the county executive primarily has employed substantial early childhood teachers throughout the county. Concerned that the current quality of classroom constructed is wanting, lacking basic components that facilitate early childhood education, early childhood development, such as and not limited to modern sanitation, kitchenwares, sufficiency of water, playgrounds with playing swings, fence affecting social security of the child, ramps for physically impaired, among others, hence not meeting the standards educational need of early childhood learning environment required to develop holistic learners' physical and mental abilities. Further concerned that many trained early childhood teachers are yet not employed, while a number of constructed and established early childhood centers do not have the required child to teacher ratio, hence affecting the attention that every child require in the development his her early childhood learning. Therefore, this House resolved that the County Executive Committee member for Early Childhood Education, Vocational Training, Gender, Youth, Sport and Labor to construct a well-equipped with classrooms with modern studying facilities, early childhood centers, and employ more ECD teachers to improve their performance of education of early learners. Thank you.
Second. I now propose the motion that aware that early childhood education, vocational training, gender, youth, sports, and labor are functions of the county government according to the first schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Further, aware that Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 states that every citizen has economic and social development rights, which include reasonable standards of sanitation, adequate food of acceptable quality, clean and safe water in adequate quantity, social security, and education, among others. Appreciating that county executive has put up ECD centers throughout the county and continues putting up a new ECD centers to promote early childhood education. Further, appreciating that county executive primarily has employed substantial early childhood teachers throughout the county. Concerned that the current quality of classrooms constructed is wanting, lacking basic components that facilitate early childhood education development, such as and not limited to modern sanitation, kitchen and kitchenwares, sufficiency of water, playgrounds with playing swings, fences affecting social security of the child, terms for physical impaired, among others, hence not meeting the standard education needs of early child learning environment required to develop holistic learners' physical and mental abilities. Further concerned that many trained early childhood teachers are yet not to be employed, while a number of constructed established early childhood centers do not have the required child to teacher ratio, hence affecting the attention that every child requires the development his or her early childhood learning. Therefore, this House resolved that the County Executive Committee member for Early Childhood Education, Vocational Training, Gender, Youth, Sports, and Labor to construct well-equipped with modern studying facilities, early childhood centers, and employ more teachers, ECD teachers, to improve the performance of education early learners. The motion is open for debate. The mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to further elaborate on the motion. Early childhood education is a basic level of a beginning for any child, and it is very critical. At that stage, this is a stage that you are the first contact whereby the child is beginning a life in education, and anything that have some negative effect on at this juncture may affect the child forever. So this is a critical stage, the early childhood, the ECD, whereby we have a play group, the PP1, PP2. These are the age between 4 to 6. So this is a stage that is very delicate, and ECD is a default function. It is entirely the responsibility of the county government to ensure that all the facilities required at this basic level is provided. In our county, we are faced with a lot of challenges in ECD, especially at the periphery areas, the wards where most of the staff, there's some hardship, and sometimes the teachers, if they are even posted, it's not very friendly, because there are no social amenities, and people usually, the teachers and other employees, do not enjoy being in those centers. More so, the issue is that the recruitment of teachers which are done are not very in good number to enable those centers to get the furthest centers to benefit, and most of the ECDs in those centers lack even a single teacher, ECD teacher. A single ECD teacher can manage over 100 ECD learners, and the environment, there is no seats, there is no blackboard, the environment, the ground is dusty, it's not cemented in most cases. If it is because mostly the structures are temporary, those at the periphery, even those which are constructed well within this town setup, and even the trading centers, mostly there are no chairs, there are no other facilities for teaching, because right now the curriculum based, the competency based curriculum require a lot of input for learners, and this now the burden ends up with the parent being the ones who are struggling to avail those requirements. So the employment, I remember the recruitment at the beginning of our term, there was over 70 which were to be recruited. There was advertisement. Later on, the recruitment was done selectively. Some of our centers, like in Merti, my ward, if there was employment, which was even done, that one was, I can say that it was done not transparently. It was done in a very secret manner, and whoever is posted, I remember up to now, the schools in the lower Terab lack the ECD teachers. Most of the ECD teachers lack facilities, basic facilities like chairs. I myself, there was a time that a school in Mata Arba, requested me to buy for the mat for the kid to sit, if the mat is comfortable in a learning environment, because it is the kids are forced to sit in when it is a mat. There is no that spacing, and it's not comfortable for anybody to be in that. And some sit on the stones. The classes, some of them, the temporary classes, you see that there are holes letting in the cold affect the I mean the environment, the dust, the wind, and everything. So it's not a comfortable environment, and mostly the classes are not constructed. We budgeted for those classes. Some of the classes even were tendered, but it ended up not being constructed. We even I personally in this house requested for status of those classes, including even there was a dispensary which was tendered, and the constructor was given even the LPO and everything. Up to now, all those which are tendered were not done. So I think it is time that the county gets serious with ECD. ECD is a basic, it is basic for education, whereby a beginning which can make this child to either like school or dislike. Some of the dropouts of school are being, related to the beginning, how the child began at school in early stage of their life. So we are also urging that the ECD teachers who are existing lack proper skills. They are not given refreshers and other courses which will enlighten them to be able to catch up with the current curriculums and the changes which are dynamic. So we are expecting the sector to be funded well, and the sector to be serious with the ECD classes. Also feeding program, which is very important, school feeding program for the kids. All this, motivate the child to come to school and keeps the enrollment to retention rate, whereby this kid, knowing that when especially knowing that when they come to school, apart from the learning, there are other factors which motivate them. The feeding program is one of the factors which really encourage the retention at that ECD class level. So we are expecting that the issues of feeding program, yes, there were feeding program which were nicely drawn, and even you see in the social media that the county government is providing feeding program, but on the ground the reality is not the same, because whatever is giving us a feeding program. There was a time one of the teachers in my ward called, and when I confirmed whether they received any feeding program, they said that the feeds, the porridge which they were given were bitter. It was bitter, and they could not give to the kids. So such things, you send for, you get for a very maybe low price, and then you dispatch without confirming. Then it means that the feeding program not adequate. 4 bags for one school. How long will it take? So the quantity and the quality is very important at this juncture. So we are urging them to be serious with all the feeding, the recruitment, which I think that if it is done, the number is very minimal. We have several of our young youth who have trained as ECD teachers, and still they are waiting for the employment. While there is need, we at the county level, we are not concerned with recruitment. So generally, I say that the ECD, this motion need to be taken serious by the Department of Education, and they act on all these concerns that we have raised in this house, so that they are able to look the issues of recruiting more teachers at the within the CBD, at the wards, and also at the furthest where there are those challenges, with more of a motivation to those teachers who teach in the hard to reach areas, because if in some counties, those workers, not even only the ECD teachers, but the workers who work in those hardship areas, there are some modalities which are put, that they work for 3 years, that their salaries are topped up, that they are paid in time, that they are trained. So the many other motivating factors, which for that period, you know, the ECD teacher or any worker at that center discharges his role very efficiently. So the top up factors, and even the basic factors of construction of the classes need to be serious. And when somebody is given the tender and they have not done the construction, it's good to revisit in the consecutive tendering in the other year, because if this year they have not done, and then there is no carry forward, and we assume that we have passed year they have done, then it means that you know, that opportunity is gone. So like I remember in Goda, we are supposed to construct the ECD class in the year 2023, and many others, and we are to construct the dispensary in Lakoli, not done. And I know even who took the tender, who took the LPO and who win the tender. So we are asking the government, county government sector for education, to consider ECD as a very basic, very delicate stage in learning, and they have to put effort in all those factors that we mentioned. I welcome the input of the members. Thank you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipea hii nafasi nishangie hii ajenda mzuri sana ambaye ni ya kusaidia watoto wetu wale wadogo. Nafikiri Mheshimiwa Angole ameongea karibu yote, alikuwa hataki kutuashia ingine maoni ingine tuseme, lakini bado hajasema yote. Pia ni clerks, nafikiri leo ni tarehe 6, sio tarehe 5, mcorrecti karatasi hii on the paper. Naona ni tarehe 6 leo.
Honorable Kiambi, you're not in order.
Yes. Hiyo ni kukumbuza tu clerks, yani
Honorable Kiambi, the order paper always. Have you seen the first part? Wednesday 6. Can you check your order paper? 6 order.
Okay.
Given the time. This is when the order paper was approved.
Okay. Okay.
Take note of that.
Asante kwa kukumbuza sisi Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa mambo ya ECD, mimi nikichangia niseme ya kwamba walimu waandikwe kwa wingi, na walimu wale naye wamekuwa trained, wameenda course ya hawa watoto, kwa sababu watoto kidogo ile pale inakuanga kazi ngumu sana kufundisha wale watoto. Kwa hivyo walimu wao wameandikwa, wale wameenda course ili waweze kufundisha watoto wetu vizuri. Pia classes, kujenga kwa classes. Hii county iko na makosa kwa sababu kutoka tangu 2023 local contractors wale wenye ni ya hapa karibu Isiolo wakifanya kazi hawalipwi, ndio wanaona hii maklasi haijengwi. Kila mtu anakataa kuweka pesa yake pale. Kwa hivyo ningehimiza executive, kazi ikifanyika na mtu hapa Isiolo, hapa kazi isipeanwe nje ya Isiolo. Kazi kidogo kama hii ipeanwe, itengenezwe, alafu ilipwe, kwa sababu ni wengi hawajalipwa wale wa Isiolo hapa. wale ya nje ndio wanalipwa, alafu wale loko wanawachwa. Sijui ni kriteria gani inatumika, watu ya hapa hawalipwi wakifanya kazi, alafu wale ya nje wanalipwa. Na kazi ifai ipewe watu ya nje, inafaa ipewe watu ya Isiolo, ndio wafaidike na pesa yao ile wanapewa na serikali kuu. Pia ukiwa gavana, hata wewe ni lazima ufanye kitu fulani ambaye ile utakumbukwa naye. Kama huko Meru Kiraito alikuwa anapeana maziwa, anakumbukwa na hiyo maziwa alipeana. Sasa hapa Isiolo hata uji itapotea. Uji ile yenyewe tunaweka pesa kwa budget. Watoto wao wakipata uji, unajua wakipata hiyo uji kwa shule, hiyo mtoto atafurahia kwenda shule. Lakini sasa hata hiyo inapotea. Sasa si unaona hata watoto wanaweza kataa kwenda shule. Kwa hivyo hiyo makosa irekebishwe na executive ili watoto wao wakipata uji, na kilasi zijengwe kwa wingi, na ikijengwa inalipwa, kwa sababu kuna watu karibu 10 wananiambia wamejenga kilasi na hawajalipwa, na wale wengine wale sijui si ni wengi. Kwa hivyo kilasi ziwe inalipwa. Kazi yoyote ikifanywa na mtu ya hapa Isiolo alipwe, kwa sababu nakumbuka hata hii dispensary kwa Mwangaza imefanywa renovation. Hiyo kijana alitoa pesa yake hajalipwa, na hiyo hospitali haina hata viti, na mtu anajifurahia hata ametengeneza renovation dispensary, ambaye dispensary ukienda hata kiti hakuna. Kwa hivyo kilasi zijengwe na iwekwe viti yale ya watoto kidogo ili wasome vizuri. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity. I stand to support the motion, Mr. Speaker, on the construction of well-equipped ECDE classroom and employment of new early childhood teachers. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is good for the understanding of people who are watching this session live, and even the honorable members present in the house, to understand the basic concept of the ratio of teachers to pupils as far as the ECDE concerned, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the required ratio for a child, teacher to people ratio actually supposed to be 45 pupils to a teacher, 1 teacher to 45 people, that is 1 to 45 or 1 to 40, Mr. Speaker. But currently what we are experiencing in our wards, and even at those centers, Mr. Speaker, with this growing population, Mr. Speaker, we can't say that we have only 45 or 40 people in a class, because I said so from my background experience, Mr. Speaker, as a teacher. I recently exited the teaching profession, Mr. Speaker, and I understand what is taking place in those centers. A teacher, right now we are speaking, if not to 60, 70 people, it is not below that. But when we are talking of this, Mr. Speaker, 1 teacher to that ratio, and yet when we go to these centers, Mr. Speaker, this teacher might even fall sick, Mr. Speaker. Because of aging, the teacher might retire, Mr. Speaker. But what are the strategies or plan do we have? The underway plan or strategies to give attention to these learners, it is what is really concerned, Mr. Speaker. And without fear, Mr. Speaker, I say we are really, the county government of Isiolo, it is really sleeping in their job. Why am I saying so, Mr. Speaker? The last time the teacher were being employed in this county was 2018. I don't know what has happened recently, because I have their teachers to be employed to the Garmara and Oldoniro ward, exempting other wards. I don't know whether that one even we have achieved because of the problem that occurred earlier. And if they have been employed, it has not come to attention of this house. Mr. Speaker, we don't have such kind of plans, because if from 2018 up to today teachers were not employed, then we are not taking this matter seriously, and we understand the ECDE is devolved, and we must take care of this concern seriously, Mr. Speaker. The other one, Mr. Speaker, when we came to this house, when we are sworn in this position, Mr. Speaker, we came to budget of 2022-2023 untouched. We prepared our budget, our own budget as this third assembly, 2023-2024, allocating some good amount of money for construction of classes, Mr. Speaker, whereby those money, it was not appropriately spent. It was misappropriated, Mr. Speaker, because when we have allocated classes for each wards, there are classes which are constructed and the others which are not constructed. The members in the house can bear me witness, Mr. Speaker. For the few constructed, the contractors up to date, they were not paid, and the money was spent, Mr. Speaker. That is why we have seen public resources are really misused in this county. For the year 2023-2024, likewise, Mr. Speaker, we have allocated the money, and there is nothing which has been done. Actually, I say there is nothing which has been done, Mr. Speaker. This is very sad situation for people of Isiolo, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, providing those learners with the required facilities, tables, chairs, books, crayons, it is another aspect. If they don't have classes, if they don't have teachers, Mr. Speaker, those are the essentials which are supposed to first have, so that we can come to other issues. If they don't have teachers, Mr. Speaker, if the teacher falls sick, those children, they are being left out, injuring one another, some even start to dust and another thing, Mr. Speaker. The children of Isiolo, especially the ECDE students, the peoples, they are really suffering. We really need extra teachers, not even one per those classes. We need 2 of them, just in case of sicknesses or even retirement. The other teacher can handle the peoples. But leaving children like animals, even animals, you cannot leave them like that. Leave along the children of having father and mothers, Mr. Speaker. So this matter is very important, and I am saying, Mr. Speaker, issue of CBC, which is today we don't call it CBC, we are calling it CBE, competence-based education, Mr. Speaker. It requires impacting that skills, the required skill for these learners. Remember, this teacher is required to handle this one child, for a period of time to impact or to explain for that child to get that concept. How can this teacher achieve her or his objective at the end of the day with 60 or 70 learners in one class, Mr. Speaker? That is what is resulting. The performance of generally Isiolo County, we are not getting students scoring good marks because they have poor foundation. If they have not gained good foundation, Mr. Speaker, there is nothing which they can get at the upper level of education, Mr. Speaker. We shall first strengthen the foundation so that this child can grasp those concepts. If it is matter of reading, you strengthen it. If it is matter of manipulating the skill they have, they should start practicing it at that level so that they can grow. But leaving the 3/4 of the class, I can say a teacher can only handle a quarter out of those students. The 3/4 they are just left like that. Me, I know. What do you expect at the end of the day? How does this child achieve their dream as far as their what they want to come to be in future can be realized? It can't be realized, Mr. Speaker, because of the foundation. Let us take this matter of ECD seriously if we really want to empower ourselves if we really want to empower our community, because the only thing which we can which can equalize each and every one in the society is the zero education. If the education sector dies, everything in this country will die. That is why you are seeing people, they are misleading others with information because our people don't understand. Yesterday I've listened to radio station whereby a purported speaker explaining to community something which is not existing, because they know that our people, they don't have that background of the information. If really they have, they cannot be misled. Mr. Speaker, education is very important. Let us take it seriously. Let us build more classes in this wards of ours or county. Let us employ more teachers. Upgrading, Mr. Speaker, these teachers from their job group where they have started earning their salary is another motivation. If the teacher is stagnated in one job group for a period of 6 years, 7 years, Mr. Speaker, how do you think this teacher can deliver the content? Is demotivated. You don't have interest of even giving that, imparting that knowledge, Mr. Speaker. Employing, empowering them, motivating them by upgrading their job group, it is another factor, Mr. Speaker. Let us focus on this, Mr. Speaker. Me, I belong to the Committee of Education, Mr. Speaker. I know how the county government have slept on this. Let us do something and change the strategy to improve this county. Thank you.
Honorable Nicholas.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia nafasi ili kuweza kusimama kuweza kuunga hoja ya construction of well-equipped ECD classroom and the employment of a new early childhood and teachers. Hoja hii imeingia kwa wakati ambao unafaa, ambayo imeletwa na Mheshimiwa wa Chahab. Mheshimiwa Spika, tumetunukiwa hii nafasi na raia wa Isiolo kuweza kuwaongoza kwa hii kipindi, na lazima tuwe na ile moyo ya kiungu, moyo wa kupenda na moyo wa kujali. Mheshimiwa Spika, si vyema, si vizuri wakati unapeleka watoto wako katika shule mzuri na watoto ya wananchi waliokupigia kura wakiwa wanasomea katika miti, hali mbovu, hali chafu. Shule ya chekechea ambayo ni ECD classes. Mheshimiwa Spika, hapo ndio watoto huanzia maisha ama huanzia masomo, na asipopata msingi bora katika shule ya chekechea, Mheshimiwa Spika, maisha ya mtoto kurekebika ama kuwa mzuri mbele pale itachukua muda. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, tuko na bajeti ya kutosha, tuko na pesa tumepewa na national government kwa ile mgao ya serikali, tumepewa mgao mzuri. Mheshimiwa Spika, tumekuwa tukiweka katika kila mwaka bajeti ya classes mbili kwa kila ward. 2022 bajeti ya 2022-2023 mimi niliweza kupata klasi moja na ikajengwa. 2023-2024 budget nilikuwa na classes mbili Mheshimiwa Spika, moja ilikuwa pale Smith, niweza kupata ile ya game. Mpaka leo Mheshimiwa Spika haijamalizwa na ule contractor alipewa, na hiyo bajeti iko pale. Nilisema contractor hiyo iweze kukua cancel ndio mtu mwingine aweze kutunukiwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, mwaka huu ya 2024-2025 nilikuwa na classes mbili, moja nilikuwa nimeweka hapa Huru na class nyingine ilikuwa pale Kakiri. Mheshimiwa Spika, hizo classes mpaka leo hajajengwa na bajeti bajeti imepita. Na hizo ndio mali tunauliza, hizo pesa ambazo tuna budget na classes hajajengwa, hiyo pesa zinaenda wapi? Na ukipata katika ripoti ya COB inaonyesha hiyo bajeti imetumika. Ni nani ametumia hiyo bajeti? Mheshimiwa Spika, tunahitaji kama waheshimiwa tuweze kuamka katika kazi yetu kuhakikisha bajeti ambayo imetengwa kwa barabara, kwa class, kwa madawa, tuweze kufuatilia kuhakikisha hiyo bajeti imetumika vilivyo. Ni aibu kwa wakati kama huu Mheshimiwa Spika, tukihesabu kuanzia mwaka wa 2013 mpaka leo, Mheshimiwa Spika, Isiolo imepata pesa nyingi sana, na ukiangalia hali ya msingi ya kama ya classes ya walimu ya waba ya walimu, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni aibu sana kama watu wa Isiolo. Ndio ndiposa nikatangulia nikasema sisi tumetumikiwa nafasi tuwe na ile huruma ya kuweza kujali hizi familia zingine kama familia yako vile unavyojali familia yako. Sababu sio vyema wakati unajigamba unasema mtoto wako anasomea shule kubwa ambayo unalipa 1,000,000 ama 2,000,000 kwa mwezi kwa term, na yule maskini hakuna kitu anasoma, amekosa mwalimu, amekosa darasa, ni mbaya sana mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Ukiangalia kwangu Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi pale nilikosa walimu, hata niliomba mwalimu mwingine kutoka kama pale ile ECD ilijengwa pale ni Esmith. Hakukuwa na mwalimu. Watoto wanasomea wanakaa chini ya ile floor. Nilikuwa naambiwa na wazazi niweze kuwanulia viti. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, ile mshahara sisi tunapata hapa ni mshahara mdogo. Hatuna hiyo bajeti. Hiyo bajeti iko pale ambayo executive wanafaa kutumia ipasavyo kuweza kuwanulia watoto viti. Mheshimiwa Spika, inakuwa sasa wewe ndio unaambia ununua viti ya watoto kuweza kukalia. Ni aibu sana. Ni aibu na ni sura mbaya. Kwa hivyo tungeomba executive muweze kuogopa Mungu na muweze kuwajipiga kwa kazi yenu. Kekea nyinyi bajeti kupigwa approve bajeti, muweze kutumia hiyo bajeti kuweza kuwafanyia wananchi wa Isiolo haki. Kuweza kuwajengea shule mzuri. Kuweza kuwekea walimu. Hivi leo hatuna walimu kwa shule nyingi. Mwalimu mmoja kwa hisi akiwa mmoja peke yake, na wakati atagonjeka akipata shida, ni nani anaweza somesha ile watoto? Ile watoto watakosa masomo na watakuwa watapitwa na hii muda inakimbia. Mheshimiwa Kamila amekuwa mwalimu na anajua hiyo hali. Tunajua katika hiyo hali walimu gonjeka sio ni binadamu wa kawaida, ugonjeka, anaweza pata shughuli zingine, na anapokuwa hayuko na ni mwalimu mmoja, si unaona hiyo watoto watakosa elimu. Kwa hivyo tunasema tunahitaji walimu waajiriwe, waongezwe, waajiriwe, kwa sababu tuko na bajeti ya kutosha. Classes ambazo tunaweka katika bajeti yetu sijengwe, ndio ili watoto wetu wasiweze kusomea chini ya jua, chini ya miti, wakati mvua inanyesha ama wakati nini. Pia Mheshimiwa Spika, tunataka tuongeza bajeti yetu kwa mambo ya fence. Ile shule zimejengwa tuweke fence. Kama sasa ile yangu haina fence. Na hiyo watoto wadogo wakicheza pale, kuna wanyama kama pengine punda wanakimbia, wajengeo fence. Pia tuwekeo maji katika hizo shule zao. Kwa sababu kama hawana maji, na hii ni watoto wadogo. Maji ni kitu muhimu sana katika maisha ya binadamu. Kwa hivyo tunataka wawekewe maji, wawekewe fence, wawekewe viti, itakuwa ni vizuri. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naunga hii hoja mkono, hii hoja iweze kutekelezwa. Kwa sababu isipotekelezwa watoto wetu watakaa katika hali mbaya. Na tunahitaji waweze kupata masomo ya msingi ambayo itaweza kuwasaidia, kwa sababu atakapopata masomo ya msingi muhimu, akiendelea pale huyo mtoto hatakuwa na shida pale mbele. Kwa hivyo ninaunga hii hoja mkono na nasema itekelezwe. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa hiyo nafasi.
The mover, you have 2 minutes to reply because you took a lot of time during.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I thank the members for the very important inputs. And in summary, my message to the executive education sector and the committee at the assembly is that we know that this ECD, some basic few classes which are built have lacks basic facilities, and there were some which we budgeted not done, and we know there are some recruitment which are done underground selectively with a lot of efforts. We want this status report from the department. Also, we urge the department to ensure that the recruitment of the teachers are done within this year, because this is, I think, the only financial year that we remain within this year, if I'm not wrong. This is the financial year between 2020, 2025, 2026 that is funded. So we are expecting that some recruitment which are critical at the periphery schools, like the Basa. We have some schools like Abakabale in Basa. We have Alango, which was displaced. We have Amicha, which is displaced. The structures cannot allow the kids to learn. It's not conducive. So we are expecting them to put up those structures, whether to start with the temporary classes that has everything, and then plan for the permanent, but there should be some emergency measures for the learning to continue, because those areas completely there's a lot of pressure. We presented these things to the respective department, but there was no action for a long time. We expect them to react. I budgeted in this year for Basa, I budgeted one class. Biliki, I budgeted one class. Matarba, I budgeted toilets. The toilet sank during the rainy season. I budgeted for Godrupa, and none was done, and it was removed in the budget which came in the supplementary budget the other time, which was slotted around. There was no budget was being removed and road topped up. I hope that maybe this budget, which jumped assembly, and now it is said to be passed, and it is challenged in the court, come back to us, so that now we reslot those classes which are a need to our people. So and also some other programs like feeding and the recruitment of teachers, which are very critical, as to be in that budget. So we are expecting the committee members in the assembly representing this ECD education sector to take up this concern and further follow up with the respective department, so that we are able to see this being done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
And I put a question that aware that the early childhood education, vocational training, gender, youth sports, labor are a function of county government according to the first schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Further aware that Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 states that every citizen has economic and social development rights, which include reasonable standard of sanitation, adequate food of acceptable quality, clean and safe water, inadequate quantities, social security and education, among others. Appreciation that the county executive has put up ECD centers throughout the county, and the continually putting up a new ECD center to promote early childhood education. Further appreciation that county executive primarily has employed substantial early childhood teachers throughout the county. Concerned that the current quality of classrooms constructed is wanting, lacking basic components that facilitate early childhood education development, such as not limited to modern sanitation, kitchen and kitchenware, sufficiency of water, playgrounds, displaying swings, fences affecting social security of the child, ramps for physical impaired, among others, hence not meeting the standard education need of early child learning environment required to develop holistic learners' physical and mental abilities. Further concerned that many trained early childhood teachers are yet to not employed, while a number of constructed stroke established early childhood centers do not have the required child to teacher ratio, hence affecting the attention that every child requires in the development of his or her early childhood learning. Therefore, this House resolved that the County Executive Committee member for early childhood education, vocational training, gender, youth, sport, and labor construct well equipped with modern studying facilities, early childhood centers, and employ more ECD teachers to improve the performance of the education of early learners. Will as many of the same opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next paragraph.
That's all for now.
Members, the House stands adjourned until today at 4:30 p.m. Thank you.